all of these people here have inspired me for a long, long time. And I, as a physician, have learned from who? All of you. Medicine is social media. It is not the doctors, unfortunately, right now, but what's our job? To teach the doctors. And again, because we went into medicine to help people, not to hurt people. My sister had diabetes type 1 since age 4. She died at 52, and I saw the misery that she went through her entire life. But the doctors are trained in a way because of the Flexner report, which at one point basically took control to the wealthiest people who control the message for the masses, who are the peasants, the prisoners, the slaves, and the soldiers. That's who we are. And I don't mind reading that, by the way. And ultimately, we are all kings and queens, because who's in charge of your life? You are. But the problem is we've been brainwashed. Intentionally, maybe. I don't know the answer. I'm not a conspiracy guy, but I can't fix yesterday. I can only fix today. And as a human being, are we different? We're not different.
Not really.
We're identical. Our DNA, slightly different, not very much. I'm a surgeon. When I operate, it looks the same inside. But you know what I see a lot inside? Inflammation. Do you guys know what causes inflammation? Plants. Our immune system is perfectly great, but it is reacting to foreign antigens. That means something that doesn't belong in our body, but 99% of what gets in our body comes from animals or plants. Thank you. Plants are so good for you. Are plants live organisms? They are. Do they want to be eaten?
No.
No. But if they are eaten, are they dead? They're alive. They'll grow out of you. They will kill you. They will control you. Heroin, cocaine, marijuana, nicotine, caffeine, they come from what? Plants. What toxic chemical comes from ribeye, red, fatty meat? Nothing. Simple, right? Now, the story of humanity, we supposedly came out of the trees onto the grass. But did we eat the grass or the grass eaters? We are hunters. We are wolves and lions. We are not pigs, cows, and sheep. But what do you feed a domestic animal? Plants. When you eat a plant, you become a domestic animal. Is that simple and easy? Right? And so I grew up on fruit, fiber, vegetables, cereal, salad, seeds, and nuts, because that is what? Healthy. But long ago, the masters figured it out. If I feed the masses plants, they become addicted and controllable. And I control the hunting grounds. Now, why did I control the hunting grounds? Because if you eat the meat, you become what? The master. Who is the master of your life? I am. Can you say those words? I am the master of my life. If you blame anyone for anything in your life, who does it hurt? You. Who is in control? You are. I am. We are. Okay? And so as a physician, I grew up in LA, kicked out of school, then again couldn't read. My father in jail. I was dyslexic. I couldn't read. I was kind of like the crazy little kid, ran around, but one thing I was good at was math, but I couldn't read. Well, you can't read, you can't go to medicine, because I looked at what it took to be a doctor and I said, this is going to work. But somehow I managed to become a doctor, to learn all the healthy things to teach everyone to do, which was mostly what? Plant-based, low animal fat diet. Okay? Well, as a fertility doctor, I took care of a lot of healthy women, not conceiving. Now, they said, I'm healthy, I'm not conceiving. Does that make sense?
No.
What's the number one thing we're born for? Reproduction. That's it. And so they were eating a healthy diet. Now, how many of you have ever had your doctor ask you, tell me what you eat exactly? Never. Okay, so what you put in your mouth doesn't matter? course it does. Now, how do you make beer? Fermentation. It's all plants. And are you making beer in your belly all day long? Our children are running around with beer making in their bellies, alcohol circulating in their bloodstream, because they're eating a plant-based, low animal fat diet. Is fat good for you or bad for you?
Good.
It's the best thing. Does your body want you to be fat or skinny? Fat.
Yes.
Big time fat. Because if you're not fat in a famine, guess what? You're fertilizer fast. These ideas are a little radical, but it's simple. Should you eat lean meat or fatty meat? Fatty meat. Because when you eat fat, what does it do to the microbes in the gut? Kills them, which is what you want. Because the microbes, those probiotics, those beautiful good bacteria, they want to kill you. Because they are not good for us. They are deadly. But remember, there's a big business in selling all of that probiotic shit, right? You ever seen meat in the toilet? Never. When you eat plants, and I don't even know what a protein is, when we all say protein, there's either animals or there's plants. Now you could eat some microbes and other things in between, but let's just say there's plants and animals. Do you want to eat a skinny animal or do you want to eat a fat animal? Fat. Is there such thing as plant fat? Zero. There's plant oils. So as an ancient hunter, 50,000 years ago, 1,000 years, or even today, do you get any oils of significance from plants? You don't. Remember, all plant oils are industrial produced in order to control and kill you. Now, I do love olive juice and a martini. Extra filthy dirty from time to time. But is alcohol good for us? Do you know the American College of OBGYN in America, and probably here too, recommends red wine for pregnant lactating women? Yes, it does. And they recommend a plant-based diet, lean meats, and no red meat. Because if you eat red meat, what happens to you? You become the master, you become healthy, right? And so is there ever a plant required in the human diet? No. Never. Did you know that? I didn't know that. I too had arthritis, psoriasis, kidney stones, migraines, bowel bleeding, ton of bleeding out the other end. And my doctors say, oh, it's okay. You don't have anything serious. We looked inside a couple of times. Actually, I used to get it looked at all the time. I had anemia, I had bladder bleeding, and I used to teach meditation, prayer. I kind of do so a little bit. Meditation, prayer, yoga, acupuncture, in order to do what? Lower your stress, fear, all those things, right? Who's fearful in life? I am. You know what I'm afraid of? My wife. So ultimately, my patients, so infertility is really hard to go through. And many people would never go to the doctor and get their fertility done. But if they did, they'd run away quickly because it was too what? Emotionally hard. And so I thought, oh, meditation, prayer, do all these things, help them out, help. But then some of my patients were getting pregnant on this thing called paleo diet. And I'm like, if someone's getting pregnant on something and they're not paying me for it, I gotta know about it, right? And so I learned all about paleo diet. And what is a paleo diet? Hunter-gatherers. Now, I don't know what we're gathering, but I'm telling you, I'm going after that big beast. Do wolves and lions go after the skinny little things? They want the fat things, right? And I imagine our ancient hunting, we wanted to show off to the rest of the tribe on how we can kill the big beast. That's who we are, right? So I taught paleo, and then I had all those diseases I mentioned, and I got better. And then I found keto, I got better. And then one day I was watching, it must have been Richard Smith on YouTube about 15, 20 years ago. Some dude who was ripped and he ate meat. He didn't exercise. And I said, that one's for me. So I went carnivore almost 15 years ago, and 1 month, everything gone. I've never felt better in my life. Oh, I did find Jesus Christ probably around 25 years ago. That also helped me in this land. Whether it's Jesus, Moses, Muhammad, Abraham, I don't care. But you must have faith in who? God! Okay, say that one again. Who said that?
Yourself.
Yourself! AKA God. Nobody but God within all of us, my brothers and sisters. And so ultimately, was he a lamb or a lion? We are lions, so is he. And as lions, we eat what? Sheep. Makes you the strongest, most powerful person in the universe, but the most important part is love, kindness, generosity, right? And that's what this community is all about. The beauty is, we're kind of like the vegans used to be, a minority. But we want to teach this around the globe to our brothers and sisters, because without doing that, our children are going to suffer. And my daughter recently had a large fibroid removed. And why'd she get that? Plants. Anyone ever heard of goiter? Yeah. A goiter is a large damaged thyroid. How about goitrogenic foods? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you know goitrogenic foods are tumorgenic foods to every cell of your body? See, we in medicine don't know this, don't talk about it. And so it's really our job and my job to help train your doctors. Be honest with them. Scare them a little bit, right? I did write some quick notes, went down, but Salisbury Steak, you guys know Salisbury Steak? Salisbury Steak was a doctor in America that in the Civil War, his men were dying of dysentery and pneumonia, and he put them all on meat. He wrote an amazing book. They all healed. Damn. I know there are a lot of questions here, but a really important one, then I'll stop with this, is that the bugs in the belly, remember, you eat a plant-based diet and a protein-based diet. Protein is not good for us. Fat is, not protein. Protein poisoning. But protein and plant sugars are fermentable. They grow in your belly, the microbes, they go out the rectum anus, they go up into the vagina, cervix, uterus, tubes, pelvis, because every disease a woman suffers from, including plant-caused ovarian sickness, PCOS. But the microbes also crawl up the esophagus into the upper and lower respiratory system and cause every disease you suffer from. And depression, anxiety is all secondary to what? Plant-based disease. That is it. Occam's razor says the simple answer is the one. And the simple answer is we are lions. We are not sheep. And when we realize that every one of our brothers and sisters are the same, and we want to help each other heal, and your suffering was for a reason to help us all learn and be better. And who amongst us has not suffered? None of us, right? Suffering strengthens. So a blessing and thank you to this man for going around the globe and helping us all, and everyone who's sharing their words. And I really encourage everyone to do the same thing, because it's about sharing the word and inspiring all of us to live a better life. Thank you.